So your overall energy here, we do have the Page of Coins as well as the Justice card. The Justice card is in the reverse position, so I definitely see some type of financial situation that is not balanced out, okay? So this is coming in as like some type of financial worries even, or financial instability reflected in your relationship and affecting the relationship. So give and take in a relationship is very, very, it needs to be balanced out. It's coming up for review because it's showing to be somewhat unhealthy, somewhat unbalanced. And I do feel financial considerations as well. So both of these are their overall energy. You're dealing with new people that, you know, especially if you're trying to date again, I do feel that there might be a situation where you're separated or you're going through the divorce proceeding, but you're not cleanly extracted, and it's going to hinder your ability to date, okay? Because you have some lingering financial concerns that you have with an existing or even a previous relationship partner. The other aspect related to this as well is joining assets with another person. So taking the relationship to the next level, living together, doing so enthusiastically and joining together. And as a result, you're going to have to navigate the ways in which you can work with the other person, or you and the other person can work together as a unit. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, but I do feel it's overall like very positive. What's coming through for others of you who are single is in the challenge position, we have the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is someone who has been very, very battle scarred, and their heart chakra is open. They know what they want, and they know especially what they don't want. So I feel, especially for those of you who are single, you're afraid to get hurt again, but I feel like you're still keeping yourself open to new relationships and to dating. So this is very, very positive. For others of you, it's kind of like struggling another day, not giving up, fighting for a relationship, moving forward. And I feel for a lot of you, you might do it because of the negative stigma associated with, whoa, I don't want to get a divorce. I'm going to be considered divorcee, and it's going to reflect badly upon my ability to commit. So I feel like that's what's coming through, and you don't want to fight for this relationship anymore. I do sense that, especially if it deals with like legal issues. And a lot of you have been dealing with some legal issues with another person on the romantic front, and you just really want it to end. You just want to get it done and over with and to move on. I'm sensing somebody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, so be very, very careful. Your heart chakra is activated, and basically what that means is that I feel like you're looking at this situation through a very, very sentimental lens, and you're not seeing the reality for what it is, and that's showing up as a challenge. At the pit of your stomach, we do have the tree, and the tree indicates knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, right? And what I'm feeling is you're listening to your heart, and that's great and fine and all, but I feel that you're not looking at the situation realistically. I feel that you're swayed by your emotions. Someone might be coming in with an emotional appeal to make you stay, and I feel that they've really hurt you. They've really, really have been a big disappointing person in your life. They weren't there when you need them. That's the bottom line. And I feel like the tree, you know, people carve on trees for some reason. They carve their names, and you know, the trees take a lot of abuse, and I feel like that's what's happening here. I mean, he's missing one eye, and he's got a lot of scars like on his forehead as well. So you've been hurt in the past, and I feel like it's because you were operating from that space where you gave so much of yourself unsolicited and you got nothing back. So you're like, I feel that someone really took advantage of you and someone really hurt you, and you don't have the strength to fight for this relationship anymore. Nor should you. I feel like, you know, let them be gone. Let them walk away from your life, because I feel like they put you through a lot. So I feel like that's what's happening here. On the one hand, there's a lot of history involved. There's a lot of love, and there's a lot of emotions. But on the other hand, it's just not practical, because I feel like I keep getting the image. Someone is pulling the wool over your eyes. Like they're playing on this glamour, but it's not real. And you're going to realize it's not real. And, I feel the 9th and the 10th coming through very strongly for when this situation might reveal itself, okay? So that's your challenge here. Don't charge ahead too enthusiastically. moderate your feelings, use your head and your heart in order to make a decision. I feel like you're overly enthusiastic about something. It's like this shining thing that plops down into your on your lap into your life, and I feel like you're not heeding the warning signs, you're ignoring the red flags, you're emerging, and just be careful, okay? What's coming in here is the Knight of Coins. So this is the overall energy we're dealing with. The Knight of Coins is your energy, and this is like the slowest moving knight in the deck. And he's sitting there, he's observing, he's really not making a move. And it's mirroring the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is an offer for friendship, it's an offer for love. It's in the reverse position. So I feel like it's coming in a manner where, you know, someone is like overly aggressive. They're just like, I have to have you. And like on the first date, they might tell you like, I'm in love with you. So there's something here about somebody being emotionally unstable themselves, and you're just looking at this like, hey, we just met, you know, like it's like somebody who's very intense and they just push forward. And I feel there are definitely some issues regarding, you know, boundaries here, so be very careful. I also feel like for a lot of you, you're trying to, it's like a slow process to get yourself out there, to meet new people, to give people your love and your affection, because you have overcome like a lot of pain in the past and a lot of disappointment. You might also have still some sort of attachments that's preventing you from really trusting another person again. So I feel that's coming through, and I feel you have some solid offers, but I feel like you're taking a step back here. And honestly, I feel like your intuition is going to steer you in the right direction. So, you know, no worries here. But I definitely feel you know what you're doing, and you show up in the upright position. So I do sense the only trouble is, especially for new people who are trying to date again, keep yourself open, okay? Keep yourself open. And I feel that if they rush in too soon on the first date, they want to marry you. They're probably not emotionally stable, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, I don't sense a lot of emotional stability coming in from the external environment. What else is coming through here? We do have the Empress in the reverse as well as the Eight of Cups. The Empress in the reverse indicates like somebody that we have children with, okay? Like an ex-spouse, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, even ex-husband. So somebody we have some type of children, some type of cord of attachment, lingering, you know, attachments with another person. And when they're showing up in the reverse position, it means it's somebody who is quite manipulative. And when it shows up reverse, I especially see this message coming in, especially for you people who are dating, like Taurus people who are dating females, okay, like women in general. If you self-identify as a Taurian who is dating women, this message is especially pertinent. I feel like you're dealing with someone who's very seductive. And I kept getting this, and it's coming out again in the love reading. I feel like you're dealing with someone who's very seductive, who is very materialistic, who is using her charm and her ability to seduce to persuade you into doing something you're not supposed to. So be very, very careful. And I feel like you're not going to be budging, okay? Especially if those of you who are in a relationship and you're getting tempted from like a seductress, you're not going to budge. I feel you sitting back, and I feel like you looking at the situation like you're very flattered and you're very tempted, but I don't think you're going to budge. However, I feel for others of you, I feel like this person might be married. I do sense that. They might have another relationship running concurrently if they're involved with you. And the way you can identify this person is that I feel they're very, very seductive. Like they're very beautiful, very charming. I feel like a lot of curves with this person. And I feel like they exude a lot of like sensuality and sexuality, and just be very careful about this, okay? And I feel the message extends for women too, but I feel like it's somebody who is in a very, very negative sense, like using her charm, her beauty, her femininity in a very negative way. So that's what I'm feeling is happening here. And I feel like you might be falling for it, okay? Especially if you're dealing with this energy. And it's not going to apply to all, but I feel somebody is taken in by the glitz, the glamour, the charm, and the beauty of somebody else. And you're thinking like, oh, it's just a one-time thing. It's just going to be fun and all. Make sure you know what you're doing. If that's all you want, then by all means go for it. But I feel like they have other engagement. They have another relationship, and they're pulling the wool over your eyes. They're not what they seem, okay? In the center of the spread here, we do have the Six of Wands, which basically means this situation is not going to lead anywhere. So pretty cut and dry, like if you're dealing with someone like that and they're trying to bedazzle you, they're trying to lure you, and they're just like, hey, come here, the grass is greener. Not going to work. It's not going to end well, and it is going to lead to a lot of disappointment. So be very careful about that, okay? Be careful of people bearing false promises. And I feel like they might come in pretending to be a friend, wanting to, you to disclose, to trust them, wanting you to like tell them about your history and things like that. So it's like a sheep in wolf's a wolf in sheep's clothing. So just be careful, Taurus. In terms of your advice, we do have the Chariot card in the reverse position. So this is a card about self-discipline, okay? Harnessing your desires, harnessing your wants and your needs in order to come together in a fruitful way. So that means, I want this, but I already have this, and I really should do this. So what do I do? Well, this is an inner conflict playing out, and you're going to have to do things in a very directed manner in order to get the outcome that you want. So really think about the end goal. Am I looking for a good time temporarily, or am I looking for some long-term commitment? So I feel like there will be opportunities for you guys. I see a lot of temptation. I see a lot of people trying to seduce you, like physically trying to seduce you. They might just throw themselves at you. I do sense that. And if you're looking for fun, that's fine. Make sure it is consensual. Make sure the other person is aware. But if you're, I feel like the person you're dealing with has a partner, has a relationship. So it's not a good thing to wedge yourself in between other people who are in relationships, because it's going to reap a lot of, it's going to bring about a lot of blockages for yourself and for interference and things like that. So it's going to block your blessings. Just be careful. So it's basically saying like, getting in between a couple, getting in between two people, just be very careful about what you're doing, okay? The other advice I'm seeing here is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is a situation in which you're going to have to take a break and to recoup your strength, and to also reassess and potentially even move in a different direction altogether. There's something happening here in your love life, and I feel that, you put yourself out there, your heart's on your sleeve, you're giving your love to somebody, and I do feel that they might take you for granted, and you're withdrawing from this situation, you're retreating so that you can get more clarity and more enlightenment, and I feel like this is a really smart thing for you to do here. You might go a different direction altogether, honestly. And it's corroborated here by the Seven of Swords, which is sneaky behavior being found out, okay? In the reverse position, a lot of you might be dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, and Libra, just in this manner, but I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is very, very articulate. They misrepresent themselves. It might not even necessarily be an air sign, but I feel like they're just misrepresenting themselves, and they're going to be found out. Some information is coming to light regarding like, their overall marital status or something like that. So I definitely feel what you see is not what you get this month. And just to be very careful about who you're dealing with and who you're letting into your life. I'm going to pull out one card to see who we're dealing with here. So we have a lot of communication here, the Eight of Wands. So whoever you've been heavily communicating with, there's some type of information coming to light, okay? This is like heavy flirtatiousness, heavy emotional energy as well. Just, I feel like whoever you are conducting some type of a situation over long distance, okay? I feel emotional distance, physical distance between you and another person. And that's that's what it comes up to me as, some communication that's not supposed to happen, or something that's not supposed to happen with a person over like vast distances. So be careful about that, okay?